A hand reaches out of darkness. The veins bulge and twist under what looks like diseased skin. And a boy walks toward it willingly, but with a face that says, I'm reluctant, his posture shrinking into something childlike and obedient. The guardian stars aren't mythology. They're after something. They're hungry for something. What's good, everyone? It's Mel with Mel Otaku Talk, and today we are breaking down, walking through, recapping, discussing, whatever you want to call it, Black Butler Chapter 115, titled The Butler Heating, where we will finally see the hands of Lord Sirius and the answer to what's happening at the Sphere Music Hall could possibly be way worse than the question as we walk through volume 24. This is, of course, the Blue Coat arc. This is the arc that takes place after the Emerald Witch arc. So Ciel and Sebastian is back in London, and they are on a mission or on an investigation for the Queen. Now, before we get started and jump into chapter 115, as usual, I like to just handle some business because I am trying to grow my channel and I'm aiming to reach 4K subscribers over the next 8 months. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button because we talk manga stuff around here. So let's see what's happening with the Sphere Music Hall and how Sebastian and Ciel will tackle another mysterious or mystery wrapped in some type of supernatural, but wrapped in some type of probably crime that's happening at the same time. Let's get started. If you don't know how volume 23 ended, and that is the start of the Blue Coat arc, check out that video on my channel. But let's talk about why chapter 115 matters. Because it's the moment the Blue Coat arc becomes about institutional corruption, not just one fortune teller's scheme. Ciel and Sebastian hands Inspector Amberline a list. On that list, top officials from military, members of the House of Lords, the officers from Scotland Yard itself, all of them are regular attendees at the Sphere Music Hall. Now, the look on Amberline's face is that of surprise. I mean, jaw-dropping surprise, mouth open, complete shock. And Ciel doesn't sugarcoat it. He basically, is straightforward with Amberline and says, both the House of Lords and Scotland Yard are possibly participating in criminal or corrupt activities. Now, is it knowing or unknowing? We haven't got that far yet. Here's what makes this devastating. Amberline represents the good cops, or the good side of Scotland Yard. He's the one who actually cares about protecting people. He's working with Ciel, even though his superiors don't always favor Ciel. I would go as far as to say disdain, possibly hate Ciel. And even he can't do anything through official channels because the system itself at this moment appears to be compromised. When Amberline desperately asks or inquires if he can get the help of the Queen, shouldn't we be talking to the Queen? But Ciel quickly shuts him down and let him know the Queen basically reigns, but she does not rule. The English sovereign doesn't intervene in domestic affairs by the word of law. They cannot be seen attached to these type of events, but they have to be able to regulate and bring to justice anything that may be happening. And that's where the phantom hives come in. And of course, Ciel comes in. It should be noted or said that even royal authority has its limit when corruption runs deep as well. And that's why Ciel, the phantom hives, do this type of work for the Queen. So what's left at this point, or what's left, Ciel will position himself as the solution. That's why he's the Queen's watchdog. And he refers to himself quite often as the Queen's watchdog. That's what he's there for. He's the one who will sink his teeth into the tails before any criminal escape or anything happens and get out of the way. Ciel claiming his role as someone who operates outside of the corrupt system. He can move that way. That's how he helps to solve crimes that look like supernatural mystery. He can operate outside of the corrupt system because Any royalty cannot be seen doing that. He can do what legal channels cannot because he's not bound to those channels, which is the reason why Scotland Yard don't take on certain cases in this story and Ciel does, because he can operate differently than Scotland Yard, the aristocrat investigating aristocrats, the Queen's unofficial enforcer. That's how we think of Ciel. The conversation between Sebastian, Ciel, and Inspector Avalon was taking place at the Phantom Hive estate. Let's switch scenes a little bit because we're going to take a look at the Weston Prefects. And as a reminder, the Weston Prefects, they were a part of the public school arc. And if you saw that anime or you read that piece of Black Butler, that arc, and you saw the anime, you know the Weston Prefects. No need for any introduction to them because, yes, they were the center of things that happened during the public school arc. So let's switch scenes. Meanwhile, inside of like the music hall or the Sphere Music Hall, the four Western prefects, they're rehearsing their choreographed number under Blavitt's direction. Of course, they're exhausted because they've been spending a very more than ample time at the Sphere Music Hall. Blueware, he has literally collapsed and calling himself pathetic. But here's what breaks my heart about this scene. They're completely sincere. We remember how they were during the public school arc. Well, let's just say now they are more forgiving and apologetic about what they did. Their current role at the Sphere Music Hall is a lot about atonement at the same time, but they are doing numbers. When Blueware collapses and calls himself pathetic, I did mention, yes, it breaks my heart about this scene because they are completely sincere, the Western prefects. When Blavitt tells them their celestial bodies are delivering radiance, they believe him. Redmarch says this is now the place where they can shine at. Greenhill adds that he won't mess it up this time, referencing their crimes from the public school arc. These four think that they've found redemption, a place where they can finally do something good after the terrible things that they covered up before, yes, during the public school arc. But they're the entertainment, the friendly faces that keep people coming back so Blavitt can drain their blood during private events. They're both victims and accomplices, enabling the operation while having zero idea of what's actually happening. So this time they are being used. Just put it like this. That's the cruelest kind of exploitation, making someone complicit in harm while convincing them that they're healing people. Now let's take a look at the Guardian Stars. And now we get to the chapter's main revelation, and it's kind of disturbing. After practice, Blavitt tells Violet that the light of Lord Sirius is growing dim. He asks Violet to share his radiance again, and Violet agrees because he's done this before. They walk to a private chamber where both of them kneel and bow before someone sitting in a reclining chair. Blavitt announces, Lord Sirius, Violet has arrived. On the manga page, we see a hand reaching out of the darkness. But this isn't a normal hand. The veins are bulging, distorted. Something is clearly wrong with these hands, or clearly wrong with the person these hands are attached to. When this person tells Violet to come closer, Violet's entire posture changes. He becomes a small, childlike, submissive individual. And there's a needle on the panel. Basically, it's a wood box with a needle inside, a blood-drawing needle. So here's what we're learning. The Guardian Stars aren't titles. They're not theatrical fiction. They're actually beings that exist in those private chambers that Blavitt serves. They require human blood to survive. Based on everything that we've learned during Volume 23, and of course, Ciel and Sebastian's conversation with the Emerald Witch and Wolfram, we know that something is going on where their blood is being drawn, especially with what happened to Ciel back in Volume 23. This is what Blavitt's been doing with the collection of the blood, at least part of it. He's been sorting individuals by blood type. Blavitt is the fortune teller, but somehow he's using their blood, pricking their finger, it goes into a little round bowl of water. In some way, somehow, he's using the front as a fortune teller, but at the same time, somehow he's able to discern the blood type. Not sure how, this is still one of the mysteries. What he's been doing, Blavitt, is sustaining these beings through transfusions and members who share their blood type, like Violet, who's the same type as Lord Sirius. They're being used as regular donors. The phrase, share your radiance again, tells us this isn't Violet's first time, probably not his second. Blavitt's been positioning this as an honor, serving a higher being, sharing your light with some celestial, or sharing your light with something celestial, and Violet believes it, and he gives it up. There's a part of me when I look at Violet's face on the panel, and like I described, you can tell that this is something he didn't want to do, but I fear that his need to atone for what they did in the public school arc is driving them. Violet doesn't realize he's a blood bank for something that shouldn't still be alive, or something that shouldn't be happening. Let's not say he's still alive. It should not be happening this way. Think about what this means for the horror of this operation. It's not just medical or medical experimentation. It's not just collecting blood for profit. Think about it. Who is Blavitt doing this for? Who are they? We don't know that yet. I mean, we could have some fun with it. It could be a type of vampirism with a scientific veneer. It could be some type of gothic horror wrapped in Victorian medical aesthetics. But right now, we are not for sure. And this is the mystery that Ciel and Sebastian will work on behalf of the Queen to figure this out, like they always do. Chapter 115 is doing setup work, but it's essential setup. It confirms the body count is real. At the opening of volume 24, the Reapers mention death records showing multiple organ failure from blood loss. People are dying from being drained of too much blood too many times. And yes, Grell and Othello are sitting on top of the buildings in London having a conversation about the stacking body count that's happening. What does this do? This shows us the scope of the institutional corruption that makes normal investigation impossible because of the mounting bodies. Not a regular organization like Scotland Yard can handle this, but also because of their involvement with attending the Sphere Music Hall, in addition to members like the House of Lords as well. So this is why Ciel and Sebastian Ciel takes on these cases for the Crown. The Weston Prefects are basically being exploited while thinking they're helping people at the same time. And most importantly, it proves the guardian stars exist as physical beings that need blood to survive. Every question from volume 23 about what's happening during the private events, what Blavitt's doing with the blood, who these guardian stars are, we're starting to get some answers too, starting with volume 24. But the thing is, the answers just keep getting worse. Wrapping up, I should say, Ciel is stuck in an impossible position. He knows what's happening, but every conventional path is blocked. The officials are compromised. Direct infiltration already failed. Normal methods won't work, which means what comes next has to be unconventional. And that's exactly where we're headed. I'm starting to speculate on who Lord Sirius and the other guardian stars are in this arc. If you found this analysis helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Black Butler Blue Coat arc. Feel free to speculate in the comment section and stick around for the next video to see what pieces of the mystery will be uncovered. I'll meet you at the next clue with Ciel and Sebastian, and above all, keep talking manga with me. Thanks for watching.